Man.
It's a lot of
Preparing
sort
to
of
live stream the webinar.
bodily function noises happening around over there.
Bodily function noises for all the girls and boys. Everyone wants to hear what noises we'll make today.
Uh-huh. Pretty much.
Slurping and burping and lots of jerking. Everybody's having fun on player one.
Okay.
It's a great theme song there. You got. It's great.
There we go. Y'all can have that one for free.
Y'all got fake poo.
Y'all got fake poo. Uh-oh, it says on the cover.
It says on the cover. Somebody
We're gonna-
made a mess.
Need a couple of those cards down here.
That's
pretty
such a
soon.
great God. That's just that line. I mean, that episode was great, but that line was brilliant.
It says on the cover.
It says on the cover.
What sketch was that even a part of? I don't even remember.
Wasn't it a greeting card to say sorry for racism or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something
Sorry
like
for all
that,
the
yeah.
racism.
I
Yeah.
think that's true.
Oh, it
It says on the cover. God. Oh man.
Hello and welcome to episode 696 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Good evening.
Evening there. How you doing up there in Canada? Any
It's I had a legit you kids and your darn music moment last night.
Old man's ready.
So
Oh,
okay,
geez.
so the kids have been singing this song that like they'll run around, they'll play it on like the Echo, they'll get it to play on Spotify, and they'll run around singing it, right? And I've heard the song enough to know what it sounds like, but I don't really know the song.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
And,
Is it
and
that
like
one?
I've listened to them singing it,
Uh-huh.
and I swear to God, I thought it was one of the songs from Teen Titans. Like
Really?
it was, yeah.
I'm a boy, a really real boy. I'm
Something
a
like
boy,
that.
a real
So anyway,
boy.
We were coming back from a hockey game last night, my son and I, and we turned on his radio station, Auto Tune FM, and
Wait, is that a real
yeah.
station?
is that a real
that's what we dubbed it that because every single song that was played was just all auto tuned.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we turn it on and it's this song playing, and I turned to him and said, "What is this song doing on the radio?" He said, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Well, isn't this? I thought this was like a Teen Titans song." He goes, "No, it was the song called and I don't know if you guys will know this. It's called "Blinding Lights" by The Weeknd.
Wrapped up like a deuce, another roller
No,
in the
not
night,
that one. No.
blinded
No.
by the
No.
light,
Still not that one.
held
Anyway.
up
Should've
like
been
a
that one.
docent by the foreman of
It's
the night.
it's like so synthy and drum machiney that I was confusing it with the Teen Titans Go song. I think it's what is it called? The Night Shines or something like that.
The night begins to shine.
The night
first
begins
of
to
all.
shine. So
I
that's
saw you dance from the corner. I caught your name in a
This doesn't
conversation,
sound
laying hard
close.
to get.
It really adds to the illusion when you
No.
hold your.
Yeah.
I can
hold your
feel
left
your
ear.
touch
No, I'm still not.
when
not
I'm watching you.
No.
I see
No.
the story in your eyes. When we're dancing, the night
I don't-
begins to
Yeah. Okay.
shine.
Now it's starting to sound right.
The night begins to shine.
You gonna sing the
The
whole
longer
thing?
you sing, the funnier it gets.
I absolutely can. Well, it's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be dramatic.
So anyway, that was what I basically what I
Uh-huh.
thought the song was. I'd heard it, just clips of it enough to think that that's what it was, and then I realized, no, wait a minute, it's like a legit song
Oh, really?
that should have been released 40 years
Legit
You
ago.
song.
implying that BER is not legit?
Sorry, a song they would play on the radio.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Gotcha. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Sup. Sup. Sup.
How are things in your neck of the woods there?
Quarantined.
Quarantine.
Keep waiting for people in hazmat suits to come bursting through the plastic covered door behind you.
It's like the end of ET.
Looking for
over
ET,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holding walkie-talkies in their hands.
Oh man, it is. It's an experience out here. Let me tell you. Although your kid's school is closed, right?
Yeah, so they closed. The school district that I'm in closed classes for up to the next 14 days.
Okay, that's 14 school days.
14, maybe. So they just said 14 days.
You might want to check on that.
Super parent here.
They said 14 days.
Because that seems like an odd number.
What else do you have to keep track of, CJ?
If you're just
What-
going school
nothing,
days.
Nothing. Really.
Well, you guys aren't hitting March break. Do you have March break in your elementary
spring
school?
break.
We call it March Madness.
we do
Okay.
have spring break, yes.
And that is that this month?
No, next month.
So that's why you don't
Yeah,
call it
next
March break then.
That would be why.
Because here it's called March break. And
It's spring
next
break,
week.
man. It's spring break.
No,
Go
my
down
kids
to
aren't-
Daytona.
My kids aren't going to Daytona.
Lauderdale. What?
Do.
But yeah, so last week it was a little sparse on the bus.
Right.
My daughter takes the bus to school, and normally there's like 15 kids get on the bus. We only had 2 days of school last week, and only by the last day of school, there were only 5 kids getting on the bus.
She had to drive the bus one day. There were so few people.
Basically,
Yeah.
so yeah, they took Tuesday off so they could train the teachers on e-learning, and then now for the next 14 days or so or whatever, we're going to be doing classes on her iPad.
The E
And she
stands
has to-
for extreme.
She has to log in to the app by 9:30 in the morning and answer like a special question.
Weird.
That's the login thing. It's like a CAPTCHA for students.
Which
Show
of
us the
these pictures
crosswalks.
contains a cross? I was just going to say crosswalk.
That's great.
That's exactly what it is.
Did you hear about the kids in China who are doing the
yes.
remote learning?
Yeah, and then they
Greg,
gave
Did
everybody
you hear about this?
No.
So over in China, which is it's
they have a little bit of a
country.
coronavirus
Yep.
problem there
They have
too.
a bit of a
it's
problem
the-
there, yeah.
it's a country in Asia.
Yep.
So the kids are doing the school learning at home, and the teachers use a I forget the name of the app, but there's a particular application that they use to give out homework.
Okay.
And the kids, who, as far as I'm concerned, have learned all they need to learn, because clearly they've
This
got this
action.
figured out. The kids all figured out that if they band together and if they all review bomb the application with 1-star reviews,
Yeah.
it will get removed from the App Store,
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Which was in
they
fact
all
it,
deserve to.
which is
yeah.
what happened. So they were able to eliminate their means of getting homework.
Wow.
Hilarious. Yeah, we did a dry run on Friday.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they have they log into the app and they get like a little welcome video from the teacher that she records each morning, and
Mhm.
Oh, hello.
they have like little assignments they have to do.
I didn't see you there. Please come in.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Basically, yeah. So there's that, but just like
Tell me the
Drive-
teacher ended the lesson with be sure to smash that like and subscribe button.
no,
Share. Please visit my Patreon.
If you're in the position to help our classroom grow, please visit patreon.com
That's great.
Ms. Smith's second grade class.
I did go to the grocery store
Gross.
last week, and you get a cart, and normally they have the wipes that you can use to
Yeah.
wipe off your cart. I've never seen anybody using those, except I saw 2
I
people
mean, there's
use
the problem right there.
them. 2 people used them last week. Amazing.
I posted a picture on Twitter a few days ago because, as far as I know, I'm the only person who has ever used those little
Yeah.
cart wipes.
Mhm.
But when I went to the grocery store last week, the dispenser was empty.
Oh,
Like all the
right,
little-
I saw that.
Little tissues or rags or whatever.
Yeah.
They were all gone. So
Uh-huh.
Along with all the toilet paper.
Well, I went to
Yes.
Target, and toilet paper there's definitely a run on that.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
hand soap.
It's gonna be some runs on the toilet paper.
Hand soap,
I'm talking
disinfectant
about
wipes,
liquid poo.
and cold medicine. The aisle was like completely empty.
Well,
Because it's been shown
it's-
to, cold medicine's been
cold,
shown to fix the problem. Yeah.
Little Robitussin, rub it
Sure.
on your skin. That'll get that corona right off.
But yeah, the streets in the morning, like sometimes I drive to Starbucks and pick up some stuff for my wife and I, and it's not been crowded here in the morning.
It's
like
the
it
best thing that
usually
ever
is.
happened.
Yeah.
It has not at all been crowded.
Anyway.
Yeah, so in a bit of quarantine these days.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
For CJ, it hasn't changed at all because he doesn't leave the house in the day anyway.
That's also true.
Right. Just more excuse for me to stay home and play video games. So
like, see, I was ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not scared of getting this.
Ooh.
Wow.
But what is scary is people's sort
Big
of
shot over here.
nonchalance.
You don't work for the federal government by any chance, do you? Or?
What is more scary though is people's nonchalance about it's just going to be as bad as the flu, or this is nothing. Like,
if it was bad as the flu, wouldn't it be worse than it is now?
Yeah.
Wash your hand. Yeah, wash your hands and use some hand sanitizer or something a little more than you used to.
Well, this is
I think
why
that's
I've been
the scariest thing about this whole thing for me is what a new concept washing your hands seems to be for so many people.
I know. Wash your damn hands after you use the bathroom.
Look, I've seen enough crap online of people who are like, when you take a shower, do you actually wash your legs?
What?
Oh, right. Do you wash your feet?
I just let the soap rinse down my body, and that pretty much does it.
Yeah.
That's how soap works.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, that is not how it works. Yikes.
I mean, urine is sterile, so why should I have to wash my hands after I go pee? I just finish up. I get those last couple drops just on my hand, and then just give it the old rubbity rub. There,
no,
clean,
no.
clean as a whistle.
So school is not closed for you then, Phil? Huh?
Well, I don't go to
Phil's
school
still
anymore.
going to school. Yeah. Phil's got class tomorrow.
I graduated a few years ago.
Summa cum laude?
Yeah, well, it depends. Depends on how active I am that evening.
Yep, I get
orgasm.
it. Yeah, it's an orgasm joke. I get it.
So we have been getting in our school district, Christopher, to answer your
yes.
implied question there.
It actually was a question.
Well, it was poorly worded.
Yeah, it wasn't really. Yeah, it wasn't implied.
Wasn't.
I mean, if it was to be,
it
was voice to text with Google, there'd be a question mark at the end of it.
Implied, CJ, or implode? Think about it.
Always thinking.
Always stinking. P.U. I can smell you from here. Anyway, our school district in which we live has been sending out periodic email reminders that seem very adamant on we're not closing the schools.
Okay.
A lot of Seattle public health has not suggested that we close the schools, so we are not going to. Whether this is a good idea or not, only time will tell, I suppose. But
right.
But as of now, Finn is still attending class tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
That may
but praying for quarantine every day.
That may change tomorrow morning. I don't know.
They did finally cancel the Emerald City Comic-Con, which was supposed to happen.
They canceled South by Southwest too.
And they canceled South by Southwest, which is kind of crazy.
There were people at work talking about, like on Slack channels and stuff like that. It's like, hey, is anyone still going to Emerald City Comic-Con? And a shocking number of people were like, oh yeah, I'm still going. That's not going to be a big deal. I'm just like, oh, that's
not a problem.
Hashtag blame the media.
I don't know if I want a bunch of people who are so brazenly attending a comic convention
Those are the people who don't wash their hands.
Coming back into work on Monday.
I don't know. I mean, all the other viruses that are hanging out at those places, they might kill. I mean, they might discover a cure.
No, like if we get enough of them together, they'll
or they could create a super virus. I mean, it's kind of a 50-50.
Well,
yeah.
either kill them all off at once, or you create like some sort of viral Voltron.
Yeah, which sounds
viral
awesome.
Voltron.
Yeah, exactly.
Title of this episode:
Viral Voltron.
Yeah. But how are things up there in Canada? You not quarantined yet? You not experiencing the TP shortages?
No, Nova Scotia hasn't. Actually, no. Costco here's had a run on a few different items, but Nova Scotia hasn't. I don't think we've got any confirmed cases so far.
Right.
But we were going to have the women's junior hockey championships starting in Halifax this week, and they did cancel those.
Oh, did they?
But I mean, you're talking about a tournament where people are going to be traveling from all over the world. So,
right.
But no, otherwise we haven't. I mean, everyone's on high alert. Like we're getting emails from schools about like, we're going to be ready to move at a moment's notice. And so, it could happen, but it hasn't so far.
Crazy.
But I mean, they are saying that if it is to hit this province, it could be catastrophic because we have a very large percentage of our population is elderly. Right. That's one of the problems this province has, is that we our elderly there's way more of them than there are young people.
Oh, really?
This province, yeah, which is why we work so hard to import younger people. So yeah.
Well, yeah, because you saw how quickly it went through that life care nursing center in Kirkland, where like that's 13 of the 14 deaths in Washington are at that nursing center. So yeah, good times. But hey, the coronavirus also
good times.
Good times.
A bunch of people just died.
We literally just talked about 14 dead people.
I meant it sarcastically.
That's why CJ's not a TV anchor.
That's right.
14 people dead today in Washington.
Reminds me
times. Good times.
Of that outtake from Casey Kasem. He's doing his top 40 and he gets all irritated about having to go into like the feel good stories after talking with somebody's dead dog.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so funny. It's true though, right? I mean, that's a problem that broadcasters have. It's like got to go from a feel good story to, and there were 4 murders today.
Yep.
Yeah. But schools and toilet paper aren't the only thing being impacted by the coronavirus. The Turbografx-16 Mini has been delayed.
Here's the real tragedy.
Yeah.
Here's the real tragedy. Forget those people in Life Care Center.
Indefinitely. Look, I can't play Blazing Lasers on some old person.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Look, gallows humor, my friends.
Remember when you chased away all our female listeners last week? What are you doing?
Getting rid of the rest.
Mike Phillips isn't going to listen anymore. What?
Wait, what?
I'm going to have to work harder than that to drive off Mike Phillips.
Drive him away. That's probably true. But anyway, because a lot of the components and manufacturing are in China, we're going to this isn't going to be the end of the delays.
Yeah.
Turbografx-16 Mini has been delayed, so
it's a bummer.
It's too bad.
I want my Turbografx Mini.
Me too.
I really
At least Animal Crossing hasn't been delayed. We still have that to look forward to.
Well, I've got that digitally, so
me too.
Hard to.
I don't even have to go in. They
ordered it digitally.
They can close stores. I'm fine with that. Got my Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima for the PS4.
Yes.
Got announcement that's coming out on June 26th, and along with that, a new story trailer. That looked really good. Looks really good. It's looking great. Yeah.
That game does look good.
It really does.
Really good.
I'm excited about it.
Should be good.
Very excited.
Should be good.
Speaking of PlayStation stuff, so The Last of Us.
Yeah, I've seen that
I've
game.
heard of that game. Yep.
Heard of that?
Yeah.
Been
It's
hearing about it for
becoming
years.
a television show. A series at HBO is in development with Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann as executive producers. Yeah.
That's great. I hope it's awesome. It has tons of potential, obviously.
Agreed.
Yes. Yeah. Very excited about that.
It should be good. I hope it's good.
Do you think that they have
sometimes.
to follow the events of the game exactly? Like when you have a movie or TV adaptation of a video game, especially one that's very narrative heavy, like The Last of Us.
Right.
What do you think about, taking detours or doing something different?
They have, I mean, you remember, what was it? What was the difference between the intro to that game and when you actually, like when you get into the present day in that game? It's like 10 years, isn't it, or more?
No, I didn't think it was 10 years. Was it?
From the outbreak to the actual game? It was quite a while.
Yeah, I don't remember the time span.
It wasn't like, I thought she was born like after the outbreak. Isn't that kind of the whole point? Anyway, there's lots of time there.
Yeah.
That if they wanted to focus on either of the main characters,
right,
there's a ton of time we didn't see in the game story. Right.
So, yeah, you could probably even do an entire season 1 before they even meet up.
Oh, God,
right?
Yeah. I mean, there's that. And then the other question is like, is it even going to focus on the characters in the game?
That's a good point.
Could just be in that world.
Yeah.
Would you be disappointed if they didn't have the characters from the game?
I would really care.
I would be.
Because it's a video game adaptation, right? Like,
I mean,
yeah,
maybe.
I mean, have to have them in there. It'd be like a Mortal Kombat movie with.
I mean, it's kind of it ended up being kind of a reverse situation of the Matrix game.
Just so you know, the outbreak in the games happened in September 2013. The game happens 20 years after that.
Oh,
okay. There's a 20-year stretch there. Yeah, I said, I'm pretty sure that Ellie was born after the outbreak.
They're gonna do like a Mandalorian thing, where they're gonna have baby Ellie, because that's like the hot new thing right now. So
that's the hot new thing.
Yeah, have the baby.
Possible.
Have the baby characters. There's gonna be Joel meeting up with baby Ellie and having to protect her from clickers.
Possible.
So,
yeah,
there you go. Huh. You know who they should get to play Ellie though?
Ellen Page.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Have you seen that movie Booksmart?
Yes.
I've seen
Booksmart.
The lead. I mean, there's 2 lead girls in Booksmart, but the one who looks like Ellie. Huh?
The one who looks like Ellie.
The one who looks like Ellie. I mean, yeah. Okay. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Caitlin Dever?
Yes.
You don't know, do you? I mean, she does look like Ellie. I'm just looking at a picture of her.
Yeah, no, no. Well, first of all, Greg, you should see Booksmart because it's really darn good.
It's directed by Olivia Wilde. Huh.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
I remember seeing trailers for it.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at seeing movies when they're new.
Yeah.
It'll come onto one of the streaming services and then I'll watch it.
You should totally watch it. And Caitlin Dever. Did we agree on
Dever?
That?
We don't know how to say
one of those.
Devoir.
No.
I doubt that. No.
Should play Ellie. If she wants
to.
If she wants to.
If she wants to.
If she wants to.
I mean, she really does have a choice there.
Yeah. Well, I understand that's the way.
You're just suggesting.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know how Hollywood works, but I understand it's kind of a volunteer thing.
You're not a West Coast elitist. You don't.
No, absolutely not. No.
You could have fooled me.
I'm an old mountain man in the Pacific Northwest. I'm not one of those LA Holly weirds.
Nice.
But yeah.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of movies.
Yeah.
I went and saw a movie last night.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
I braved the pandemic
to
get out and
see Pandemic?
See a movie.
Did you wipe down the chair you were sitting in?
No, but I did urinate all over it, which
He
is
sprayed
sterile.
the popcorn with Lysol, so
yeah,
that was good. Buttered it with Lysol.
Ew. I went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog.
I was right.
Oh,
You were right. I finally got out to go see Sonic the Hedgehog in movie theaters. Not terribly crowded.
I can't imagine why.
Multiple weeks. Well, it's been out for a few weeks now.
Oh, there's that.
And it was a Saturday evening at 10 o'clock. And there's a pandemic. So the theater wasn't especially crowded, although I was not the only one in there. So
no,
I believe I was one of 4 people enjoying.
Anyone coughing?
That was like when we went and saw. That's when we went and saw Battlefield Earth.
That's how you clear the theater.
Ew.
You just start coughing.
Is this seat taken?
You guys are
I shouldn't have had all that coronavirus before I came to the movie. It was cute.
All right.
It's fine. I mean, it's not a good movie, but
It's entertaining.
It was competently made.
Yeah,
Sure.
entertaining.
That's all I expect out of it. I've not seen
exactly.
it yet.
Actually, I didn't even
Really?
expect that much out of it. So that's why it's successful. Really.
Let me tell you, it had some of the most amazingly egregious product placement that I have seen in a movie in a long time.
Oh, the
Really?
Olive Garden thing.
Well, there was an equally egregious Zillow.com ad when they're the cop Cyclops is talking about
James Marsden.
Officer Klops.
Officer Klops. Oh man, that's a movie about a talking horse who becomes a police officer. If ever I heard one.
Oh, Officer Klops.
Officer Klops.
Let's get that. Let's get Hollywood on the phone.
There's a scene where he's talking about moving to San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking to his wife, and he says to his wife, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the camera like cuts to just a shot of her laptop screen, and it's like right there on the Zillow homepage.
But
And she says, "Oh, I'm just looking up homes for rent on Zillow.com."
But you remember, I mean, yeah,
well, keyword.
I don't feel like that's.
No, it was bad.
I don't feel like that's that bad.
And
I mean,
then-
you remember, like you do remember that every single cell phone in the Matrix was the same make. You remember that every single
Yeah, that
car
doesn't-
in the Matrix was the same make.
Yeah, but that doesn't make this less horrible. I mean,
I don't know.
No, how to know? And then they
Really?
How do you feel about Ralph Rex the Internet?
I've never
oh
seen that.
my, oof.
That is a brand explosion.
Oh yeah, it's
Explosion.
let's go hang out at eBay where you can find the best values and whatever you want.
Yeah.
Thanks, Disney.
And the only one they don't have is YouTube.
I know.
And it's like clearly they wanted to get that
I know, right?
for the movie.
Well,
They weren't able
they
to.
were
Using
signed
a
on
fake
for the
YouTube name.
signed up for the Emoji Movie, weren't they?
Probably.
Probably.
And then yeah, the whole like, yeah, let's just stop the movie for a second and recite the Olive Garden
Yeah,
tagline.
that was a little much.
And then they brought it back at the end.
But they really tried to play it off as sort of cute banter between.
Yeah.
When you're here, your
Husband and
family.
wife.
Was that the one?
That's a line in the movie, CJ.
I mean, they're literally just.
And I mean, it wasn't even like a
reading the
winking
commercial
thing.
dialogue.
It was like, oh, I want to eat at Olive Garden. Oh yeah, because when you're there, your family. Yeah.
But we didn't mind it in Wayne's
The
World. when it
bottomless
was
bread.
New
Yeah.
print. Little.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then at the end they bring it back, and it's just like, oh man, I'm ready to go to Olive Garden. Be sure to try their endless pasta bowls. and then Cyclops was like, oh man, I am kind of craving that endless pasta.
It really is bottomless.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty egregious.
I only eat out of bowls that are bottomless.
That's why my breakfast nook table is covered with milk and cereal.
All right.
Because the bowls have no bottom, you see.
Yeah,
I understand that, sir.
Yeah. So there you go. Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah.
Olive Garden. Sonic loves Olive Garden.
Yeah. Well, no, Sonic didn't talk about going there. He was the only character in the movie who didn't talk about going to Olive Garden.
That's true. Yeah. I will say I was also a little put off by the when the cop says
Officer Klops.
Yes. When he needs
That's
to do
stick.
When he needs to do something, he's trying to like get onto the roof of a building, and he says something along the lines of, "Now I'm going to abuse the power that I was given by the police force." And I was just like, "Oh, I don't know."
That's a pretty realistic line, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, it is realistic, but I don't know if we should be pointing that out. It's just, I don't know. I felt uncomfortable with the cop character talking about how he's going to start abusing his power for his personal gain, and it being played off as like,
I loved that he was wanted for domestic terrorism until he wasn't.
Well, you know,
I was like, really? That went away pretty quick.
Well, yeah. And all that, I mean, it seemed that everyone kind of forgot about the domestic terrorism after he attacked a government official.
Yeah, but he was a government official nobody really liked. I mean, let's be honest.
So that makes it okay.
I mean, you know, the old white guys in the first scene were like, "Oh, you're not calling who I think you're calling, are you?"
Oh, this guy again. We're talking about Robotnik, CJ.
I figured.
Dr. Kintobor, I believe.
They did not drop a Kintobor reference in that movie.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They got Sanic in there, and
they got Sanic.
Some decent references, but yeah, there was no Kintobor. I don't think Kintobor is a reference the internet really knows that well.
Yeah. And they actually brought Eggman, the Eggman name in there in a pretty
decent job with it.
Pretty decent way, yeah. For for Jim Carrey not being a big fat dude, they were able to work Eggman in there, believably.
So apparently, CJ's best friend Mike pointed this out. Apparently, right at the end of the movie with Dr. Robotnik's big scene, the background music is actually his theme music from one of the cartoon shows.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that was an Easter egg I didn't know because I never watched.
I never watched the cartoon shows at all. So, but I did like how they played some of the Sonic 1 music.
Yep.
At the end, that was cute.
Yep.
And boy, you're not kidding about that that Sega splash screen at the beginning of the movie.
Right? They should use that for all their games.
I was like, man, I could just leave now after watching that. It was pretty nice. And you did get you don't have the voice going Sega, but there is a nice little kind of orchestrated swell of the at the end of that. It's pretty great.
No, they definitely they had a lot of respect for the source material there, I think.
Yeah, they did a good job.
I think they did a decent job with it.
I was actually surprised, and I mean, I don't want to get too. I mean, the movie's been out for a while, but the prologue, there was some stuff going on in that prologue that I did not expect in terms of characters that show up.
Yeah, well, that Al character's from the cartoon as well, isn't?
Is it really? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bad guys that show up in that.
Badniks.
Well, the ones that
who are they? I didn't recognize.
Really?
I didn't get the reference.
Should I drop a spoiler?
Absolutely.
Dropping a spoiler, CJ.
Fine.
It's a tribe of echidnas.
It is.
It absolutely is. They're red. I mean, they were wearing like disguises and hoods and stuff, so it was kind of concealed a bit, but you could see the dreadlocks coming out from underneath them. Some of them had, I don't know if it was just one or if they all had some knuckles, some knuckle bumps. I don't know if it was supposed to be knuckles, but it wasn't. It was very much a tribe of echidnas trying to kill baby Sonic.
And you saw there, I really liked the in Robotnik's mobile command center there, when at one point reaches over to the buttons and it's the
Badnik sign.
This is the Badnik sign.
Yeah, I did notice that. That was cute.
Nice touch.
Yeah, and then the little mid credit sequel setup scene
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
cute too. I had that spoiled for me, but
Yeah.
it was.
Oh,
Oh,
cute.
did you? That's too bad.
I did, yeah.
Kind of a nice reveal.
But it
So,
sets
yeah,
up.
it's entertaining.
It sets up what could potentially be a more interesting sequel.
Yeah.
It actually sets up a sequel that is what I think most people wanted the first movie to be.
More like a full-on Sonic cartoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So
I see.
Tails shows up at the end. Spoiler.
Wow. Thanks, Phil.
I just spoiled it.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right then.
Well,
here's another spoiler.
Shadow pounces out and
Shoots everybody.
kills James Marsden.
Officer Klops, no.
Here's another spoiler.
Yeah.
We're old.
I could have told you that. I don't think that's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
That's an
We all
observation.
know
But
that.
the March 4th was the 20th anniversary of the launch of the PlayStation 2 in Japan.
Oh man.
My.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
There was that AP video going around with Baby CJ in it.
That's right. There was
yeah.
an AP archive video of footage of the launch in Japan, and I traveled out to Tokyo for that launch because I was working at EGM at the time, and I'm in the AP archive video for like a split second, really. And Yutaka Obuchi is in there as well, who is EGM's Japan correspondent. So, 20 years.
Man.
I remember, so I bought multiple PS2 systems on that trip. And I brought 2 suitcases, one packed inside the other initially. And then when I got there,
Wow.
had them separated. And then I wore clothes that I was ready to throw out, so that I could effectively have more room coming back. Yeah,
absolutely.
To put,
because I did that the first time I went to Japan as well.
I ended up buying PS2s for EGM,
That's
OPM,
hilarious.
and Expert Gamer, or was it Game Now by this point in?
No,
PS2
it was Expert
now.
Gamer.
Yeah, it was still,
Expert
still
Gamer.
XG.
Because I covered Ridge Racer in Expert Gamer. Ridge Racer.
That's
5.
right. That's right. So, that was really a fun trip, and I was sure that customs was going to stop me on the way back in. Nope. So,
Didn't care.
But you weren't allowed to import those, were you? Weren't they considered too powerful to import?
they didn't.
remember
I
that?
don't think they classified that until later.
Yeah, that was a little later on when,
Okay.
Like right before the U.S. launch.
Didn't some government order just like many,
Something
many?
like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a fun launch with Guitar Freaks and Drum Mania. That thing. And
Drum Mania with that terrible kick pedal that was just the sponge.
Yeah, it was
never
terrible.
worked.
But, Dead or Alive and Ridge Racer, just a lot of really
Ridge Racer 5, man.
great
I spent
games on that
so
launch.
many hours on Ridge Racer 5.
Yeah.
Love
I bought myself not a vertical stand, a horizontal stand.
Yes, the only person in the world who bought a stand.
The horizontal stand. It was very important.
It helps it stay up when it's on its side.
When it's already pretty stable.
When it's
Yeah.
It's got a lot of surface area.
It was an official Sony stand. I think the one that eventually came out in the US was like a Pelican accessories stand.
Really? I thought it was still the official.
I don't think they did.
We didn't get the Sony horizontal stand.
No, I think you got the vertical stand, but I don't think the horizontal stand came out in the US.
Maybe.
But anyway, that was fun seeing AP archive video of that launch, because I went stood in line overnight for that at Yodobashi Camera in Shinjuku, and they sent everybody back. They gave everybody tickets and sent everybody home like at 1 a.m. and said everybody come back at 6 a.m. So I was able to go back to the hotel, get a little bit of sleep, and come back.
You can get a horizontal stand on eBay for about $20.
I already have one. Why would I want to get one?
I don't know. Collector value.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, what a thing. It is just
it is unnecessary.
It is just a flat piece of plastic.
Yeah, no, It's literally just dressing. It's nothing else.
Yeah, and I mean
it's so unnecessary.
It's not, I mean, it's not even really a stand because it has kind of like a little triangular sort of stand part on one side, not on the other side.
No.
So I mean, you can't even pretend it's holding it up. It's just
the stand just ties the whole thing together.
There's no ties the room. There's never been any more CJ launch peripheral in the history of launch peripherals.
Stand. Yeah. What about Xbox 360 faceplates?
Oh man, hold on a second here.
Oh, those were good times.
This guy's selling a horizontal and a vertical stand. So
whoa,
buckle the F up
if you want maximum security, maximum stabilization for your PS2, no matter which way you choose to display it. This guy's got you covered. $23.80. Buy it now. Free shipping.
Oh, good.
Free shipping. Yeah.
So I think we should get into what you've been playing.
Why is that?
And I'll kick that off by saying I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII remake demo.
Me too. Me too.
Downloaded that and played it, and I played on easy. I don't know what you played on. They have like 4 different difficulties, right? They have classic.
No, I
easy,
think classic and easy are the same difficulty setting.
They are the same difficulty setting in terms of enemies, but classic, I think, auto attacks.
Yes, that's what I was.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Yeah, that is the difference.
So there's normal difficulty.
Yeah.
Then there's easy, and then there's classic. And classic is supposed to give you the option to basically play it using the active time battle system, kind of. But you can take over the real time battle as well. Like the AI handles the moment to moment fighting, and you control the menus. But you can also at any point just take over, hit the attack button or move the analog stick around, and you'll take over the character.
And I think it said that you can change difficulty at any time, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, I mean, I went into that like it's beautiful.
It is definitely beautiful.
Yeah,
yes.
And I've heard it's
Beautiful
even
demo.
more impressive in 4K. I only played it 1080p, but
yeah,
like I went into that. I don't have any major love for Final Fantasy VII. I never did. I'm not saying it's a bad game.
Same.
I think it's a good game, but I mean, I don't. For me, as a Final Fantasy kid, was the NES game, and then the ones that came out here is 2 and 3. Like Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game in the series by far.
Yeah,
same.
But I get the love for Final Fantasy VII because there was never an RPG that was marketed like that one was.
Right.
And
to the scale.
Right. And there was a whole new generation of players on the PlayStation. So I get the love for it. But me personally, like I love the area that this demo is covering is my favorite part of Final Fantasy VII.
I am completely in the same boat as you. Like when they did the zoom out on the city and the logo comes up, you're like, because that's as far as I played.
The music in that section is great.
No, it's not.
Atmosphere is great. I really, really enjoyed that section. So I was excited about that. But from watching that demo, whatever trade show they showed it at, that boss battle that just seemed to go on forever. I was like,
that was E3.
It's like I'm not sure I'm crazy about the whole real-time battle stuff, and so I kind of went into this demo like being prepared to not like it.
Same.
And actually, right up until that boss battle, I was playing on normal, and right up until that boss battle, I was actually really enjoying it.
I was playing on easy, and even after that boss battle, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
That boss battle got way too crazy and took way too long on normal difficulty for me. It
did not take long at all on easy.
So
pump that difficulty down.
Well, so that's what I did. So I went back and played it on classic to see how it would feel, right? Because I was intrigued by the whole idea of play it like the actual Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And we'll take care of the real-time battle stuff. And I found myself taking control of the characters all the time because the AI was just so slow to do anything. Just stood there and took hits, and it just didn't. I didn't like it at all. But going back and playing on easy difficulty, it's kind of bummed that it actually made the random encounters, they're not random, they're all scripted, but less exciting. But it definitely made that boss battle more palatable. So yeah, I was a little bit bummed about that, but it's I like it. I still think it's weird that they're calling it the remake. It's
what
not.
do you mean?
That's not.
I mean, it's remake part 1, right?
Well, that's the other thing. I don't know why they're not calling it part 1, but no, it's not a remake of the old game. It's a reimagining of the old game.
It is a completely reimagining
it's
of the
using
old
the
one.
same characters and setting. That's it.
Yeah.
So, but
I really enjoyed like that they matched the pacing of the intro cutscene with the new look and everything, and how everything sort of seamlessly transitions from cinematic to gameplay, and even going in and out of battles. It's so fluid and easy. Like there is no end of battle music or fanfare that you have to like wait for. It's literally like it comes up as like a status on the side of the screen, like how many whatever XP you gained and how much money you gained, and then Cloud puts his sword away and you run on, right? Like that's the transition, and it's very much like an action game now almost.
I'm interested to see how that battle system feels when you've got 3 party members to deal with, because 2 felt a little overwhelming.
Well, with 2, I was playing it on easy, and I only switched to Barrett once.
Yeah, when you had to.
When
shoot
they
far away enemies.
Yeah, when I had to, and mostly I just stuck with Cloud.
Yeah,
and I kind of liked that I didn't have to babysit them, like babysit computer controlled characters. They could do their own thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's well done. I do want to play it, but I'm curious. I really want to know how much. Like, so there's at the end of the demo, there's a bit of footage about more of episode 1. It looks like a lot. There's a lot that happens in the city now. So I'm guessing part 1 is all in that. I forget the name of that city. I'm guessing part 1 is all in there. But yeah, I'm curious about this because I really wish they put more information out about like how far is it going to go and how long till episode 2. Like I'm so reluctant to get excited about episodic games at this point after everything that happened with Telltale and other episodic games over the last 10 years that and it took so long to get this one.
Well, here's the thing. Like, do you think they can make a satisfying ending to this if it just is the sections in Midgar and that's it? Like, is that...
I don't know.
Is it going to feel like this is a whole game? Like, even if it's a 100-hour game or whatever it is, like, is it really going to feel like you? I don't know.
But that's what I don't know. I'm sure they will. I mean, I think they'll do something interesting with it. But
yeah. I'm curious to see how long it actually is. Like if you beeline the main story, how long that's going to take.
Yep.
Yep. And that's what I've been playing. So Greg.
Well, I'm playing that, and the only other thing, I actually fired it up tonight for the first time because I finally bought it, which was Beat Saber.
Good game.
I fired it up with the kids. The kids loved it. Yeah, it is really good. Oh my god, I can't believe it's taken me this long. And I know you've talked about it before, Phil, but I can't believe it took me this long to play it. It's so good.
It really is.
Man, it's good.
Agreed.
So, and the kids, like, what I was really struck by is I was having a really
someone's
great
move controller.
Yeah, almost. But it was great because of the options that are available right from the start. Make it very accessible, because I was playing on normal, which I found fine. My 2 older kids were playing on easy, which was just about right for them for now. And then my youngest, who was out when we first started playing it, when she came home and wanted to try it, she was struggling with it, but like at any point there are a ton of options on the sub screen when you're starting the game, where you can like slow the song down. You can get rid of the arrows, so all you have to do is swipe every block just with the color. You don't have to.
You don't have to do the direction. Oh, nice.
You know, there are those arrows that just have the dots on them, so you just have to hit them from whatever direction. That turns every one of them into those.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, you know, little things like missing doesn't give you a game over. Like you can miss every single block in a song, but the song still finishes. So it was great because she was struggling with, you know, the sort of default rule set. So doing that meant she could just have some fun with it, and she was getting better as she played, but she wasn't losing every 5 seconds.
How is she supposed to learn or accomplish anything if she's so busy having fun with this video game?
Well, I mean, I sat her down and reminded her that she was cheating both the game and herself.
Important.
Well, see, here's what angers me about this is that I work hard and devote so much of my time and energy to improving myself in this game and becoming skilled enough to finish these songs myself.
Yes.
So when she does it easily, it lowers my sense of self-worth. Because if a child can just
that's great
have fun with this game,
then what are we doing this for?
What does that say about me and how I spend my time?
What does it all mean?
You know,
not
to bring Sea of Thieves into this, but I'm going to anyway.
Jesus. Oh boy, way to go, Phil.
There is.
Sorry, Greg. I really didn't mean for this to happen.
This exact same debate
about to get coronavirus real quick here
is the same debate is going on with Sea of Thieves, where there is a portion of the people who play who want private servers, right? And then there's another group of people.
Pirate servers is what they said. They're asking for pirate.
They want to be able to play and not get interrupted by other players who attack them and steal their stuff. And there's another faction within the community who thinks that would take away all that they have achieved in the game in the sort of shared world adventure mode. It's like, why? It doesn't even impact you at all. And this is a game.
Well, it does when that's all you do with your life.
I guess so, but I don't.
Where do you fall on this, CJ? You've certainly spent more than your fair share of time.
Here's where I fall on that. Like, if you're enjoy video games any way that you want to, like if a Sea of Thieves player wants to play on their own server with no other players and just dig up chests, so be it. Like that is fine with me. If Dark Souls players, if there was an easy mode in that, it wouldn't take away from any sort of challenge that players who play on other difficulty modes.
Yeah, but other people would be having fun, CJ, and I don't want that.
That's what we need to put a stop to.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, we don't. We don't. Having fun is what video games are all about.
That doesn't sound like you meant that at all.
Says you.
I do mean that. I mean that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter is playing The Last Guardian because she watched a streamer play through it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she's having a lot of fun with it.
So she ruined the whole story for herself, and now she's gonna go play it.
She did, yeah. Like I don't think she minds it. Like she's done that with a couple of games where she's watched somebody stream it, and then she goes and does it herself. And
kids don't care about that, man.
Yeah,
kids don't care about spoilers.
No, they don't.
I mean, there's been times when we'll be watching a movie with Finn, and he will something will happen, and he'll just immediately go like, what happens? What happens to this person?
Oh my God, my son does that all the time.
Just
drives me bonkers.
Wait. Just wait. You'll find out. No, just tell me. Just tell me. It's like if you wait literally like 5 minutes, you're gonna see what happens. No, I need to know. Okay, fine.
Well, my daughter and my wife saw Frozen 2 before they went over Thanksgiving, and I was visiting my parents on that at that time. So
they had to
when we went
watch it first to make sure it was okay for you to see.
That's right. When we saw it again in December, we went to lunch beforehand, and my daughter was basically like telling me what happens in the movie. It's like we're about to go see it. Like,
Your
I'll see it
daughter's just like,
I'll see it
Daddy,
for myself.
Daddy, can you believe Josh Gad keeps getting work? How's that happen?
It's all right.
Oh.
But anyway.
Did I tell you I saw Frozen 2? I did not see that in the theaters.
I saw it in theaters.
I finally saw it now that it's on
Digital
home video.
It's
a weird movie.
Yeah, that movie didn't know what it wanted to be.
I mean,
it's different than the first for sure.
I didn't dislike it, but it's weird.
I'll tell you what, it was better than that 21-minute thing they put in the front of Coco.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, that was weird.
that was terrible.
Frozen 2 though, song's not that great.
No.
Like
The
Frozen
songs
has
are okay,
Frozen
1 has better songs.
Quick, hum one of the songs from Frozen 2.
That's exactly it.
The Lost in the Woods song that sounds like a Peter Cetera song.
No, that's hilarious.
But
can you hum it for me though? How's it go?
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's just it. That's just it.
I agree. I mean, to me, that's the main thing I remember from that movie is that sort of 80s video style presentation of that song, which was great.
I mean, there's so many,
but
like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like after watching Frozen 1, if you said, oh, they're going to do a sequel and the movie's going to stop for 5 minutes and become like a 1980s love ballad.
It was funny though.
Right.
And they're going to play it completely straight. I mean, it was funny, but it's like, what a weird movie.
But no, I mean, that's like with the first one, of course, you couldn't not know Let It Go.
Right.
Yeah.
The tune to Let It Go.
You couldn't walk out of there without knowing that. Yeah.
Yeah, like even Olaf's song was the song, I forget the title of it, but the song about summer.
Yeah, I don't remember. Something about
like those two you kind of knew.
You don't like Everything Makes Sense When You're Older? You don't like that song from Olaf?
Hell?
Oh, that's
the sequel.
That was terrible.
That's the Olaf song in this one. Yeah, it was
that seemed very out of place. Like what is this song doing in this movie? It's like they had to do a song with Olaf, so pick that one.
And that was weird too, because it was like kind of setting up like some sort of like character growth with Olaf that never really got paid off.
No,
I don't know. It's a weird movie.
It's not great. It's not as good as Frozen 1 for sure.
It's a weird
movie.
But
about the 7th or 8th time you've seen it, you'll find it okay.
Wow, it's called Stockholm Syndrome.
The kids. I came home the other night and the kids were watching the first Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay,
I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, but I still haven't seen the second one.
I can't make it all the way through. Ralph Wrecks the Internet.
It's another that movie's weird too.
That's a weird one, yeah.
The gross advertising
placement
stuff is weird, but I mean, just in terms of what they do with the characters, it's a really weird movie.
Yeah,
like that movie makes you like Ralph less. Yeah, which is weird because like the whole thing of the first movie is he's kind of this lovable lunk.
Yeah,
and he comes across as really kind of awful in the second movie. And it's weird. It's like that's kind of the whole point of the second movie is Ralph is a kind of a terrible friend.
That's too bad.
And he kind of is redeemed at the end, but it's
especially with the ending of the first movie where
it's kind of not really earned. Yeah.
That's too bad.
It's a weird movie.
Yeah.
But
it's turning into this. Welcome to your weekly Disney
yeah, really.
Pixar podcast.
Pixar podcast. Yeah. Anyone going to see Onward?
And I can't get excited about that at all. My kids aren't excited about it. I just
no. Yeah.
I don't know. Pixar hasn't been really.
How about that Call of the Wild though, huh?
Oof. Oof.
Apparently, lost a ton of money.
Yeah, I'd go watch Call of the Wild if they didn't bother overlaying the dog on the the motion actor guy.
The pictures of the motion actor in the scenes. I want to see that movie.
I want to see a guy wearing a spandex suit covered in tape down on all fours.
Tape and the little motion tracking balls.
Was it Gollum?
Chewing on Harrison Ford's hat. No, it's not even. They didn't even get Andy Serkis to do it.
Well, why then? Why bother?
I know, right?
Exactly.
All right, I guess Phil, are we on to what you've been playing?
Yeah, well, let's talk more about Pixar lately. I really enjoyed Coco. I did enjoy Coco quite a bit.
Coco was cute, yeah.
Zootopia was excellent.
What's that?
Zootopia.
Yeah, it's not a Pixar movie, but sure.
It's a dip.
Fine.
Oh, not wrong, CJ.
Yep. Incredibles 2, very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I have trouble remembering if I've seen Incredibles 2.
Yes, that's the problem. Therein,
what was the plot of Incredibles 2?
That was
the same plot as the first one. Almost.
It had Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk was in there, and he was just like, "Oh, I want to hire Mrs. Incredible to go out and do superhero stuff."
Yeah, I remember that, but I can't remember if I know that
Mr.
because of reviews or if I saw the movie.
Is like he's staying home getting pissed off.
Yeah, it's Mr. Mom. He plays Mr. Mom for a big chunk of the movie.
And he's all angry because he wants to be the superhero and
the whole subplot is men taking care of kids, right?
Yeah.
We all knew that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
I still don't remember if I've seen the movie.
And it gets a little like it starts dipping a little further into Brad Bird's whole Ayn Randian thing that he's on.
Oh, I don't know any about that.
Oh yeah, Brad Bird is pretty into Atlas Shrugged kind of stuff.
I haven't seen the latest Toy Story either.
Toy Story 4 was good.
Toy Story 4 was surprisingly decent.
I really felt like Toy Story 3 ended on the perfect.
Well, see, that's why I was like, boy,
we need a Toy Story 4.
That was my
Toy Story 4 like a prequel. Doesn't it happen before?
Is it?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Did you see it?
They're all running together in my mind now.
No, seriously, did you actually see this movie?
I did see the movie. Yeah,
I
saw the movie.
You saw Toy Story 4?
I did.
And somehow you believe it occurs before
Toy Story 3.
No, it is what? No, it is very clearly after. The whole movie is about him finding Bo Peep again.
I am aware of that. Yes.
The character.
Spoilers.
How would that have happened before the first movie?
Yeah, that's right.
The whole movie hinges on knowing that Bo Peep is taken away at some point.
Okay.
All right. Let's get past this.
What is happening here? They're living with Bonnie, not Andy.
It had been a long time since I saw Toy Story 3. Okay.
Oh boy.
And Phil is really upset about this.
Jeez,
listen,
I know, right?
You're gonna get us kicked out of D23.
An old man is very.
But they're not gonna have D23 anyway. Let's be honest.
So what have I been playing? I bet you're wondering.
Not anymore.
I am.
I've been playing the video game adaptation of Toy Story 3.
Isn't that a prequel?
I hear that happens before Toy Story 3.
It's a prequel to Bug's Life.
Weird.
Which is weird, but they do tie it in surprisingly well. Actually, that Toy Story 3 game was pretty good. Did you ever actually
play Toy Story 2 game was very good too back in the day.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think I played too much of the Toy Story 2 game, but the Toy Story 3 game was actually pretty darn good.
I see.
I was playing this past week a new game for the Switch called Murder by Numbers.
I almost picked this up.
Yes.
Now
I picked this up, but I didn't get very far into it yet.
This game is based on the 2002 psychological thriller starring Sandra Bullock and Ryan Gosling.
Don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No.
Directed by Barbette Schroeder.
Someone's on IMDb.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who's the key grip?
Who was the key grip?
Shows what you guys know. I'm on Wikipedia. So, would you like to know about its box office or its reception?
No.
Okay. I just happened to catch the final line of the reception section of this, which I will read to you now. Scott also remarks briefly on the scene in which Cassie is attacked by an angry baboon. The baboon, at
Love
least,
it already.
is unexpected, though also inexplicable. So perhaps I need to give this movie a shot. I have no idea what that is in reference to. The Murder by Numbers that I was playing is not based on that award-winning film, but it is in fact a Picross game. It is yes,
because nobody really cares about what you're reading here. No, finish what you're saying. But there's you reminded me of something else.
Well, I'm just saying it's a visual novel / Picross game. Go ahead. What do you got to say?
So we were watching. My daughter was home last week with strep throat.
Oh, that's no good.
And my oldest, and she's a big Marvel Cinematic Universe fan.
Okay.
And she's a big Spider-Man fan.
Okay.
So she saw one of the streaming services that Far From Home was.
Oh yeah.
So, and I don't know how I missed this, and I think actually when it was happening, I did know it, but the guy at the end of the movie, well, the guy that Mysterio there,
right,
at one point because the piece of blah 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 got lost and he didn't think it was a big deal. The guy that the dude yelled at in the first Iron Man.
Yes.
I had no idea that was Peter Billingsley.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I mean,
I'm wondering how this ties into Murder by Numbers, but
star of A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. He's very clearly Peter Billingsley. Yes. I think he might be wearing a skull cap, but it's clearly Peter Billingsley.
No, I believe he is. I don't know if he shaves his head or if he's just bald now, but
well, I mean, the picture that I've seen of the more recent pictures I've seen of him, he's not. But I mean, I don't know how old those pictures are. Anyway, what this is all coming around to.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, he's more of a producer now. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still acting at all. But I looked at it, I was like, oh my daughter said, that's the kid from A Christmas Story.
That's Ralphie.
Like, it's Ralphie. And I looked at him and said, oh my God, that's Ralphie.
He makes cameos in a lot of movies directed by Jon Favreau as well.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, I mean,
just in general.
Okay. Anyway, so and I don't know what led me down this rabbit hole. But he did a movie that I'm dying to see in 1993 called Arcade.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a low budget Lawnmower Man type.
Oh man,
it's two kids who get stuck in a virtual reality arcade game.
Oh,
he's the male lead as far as I can tell, and I saw the trailer for it on YouTube and like I've got to see this. I have to see this. Starring Megan Ward, Peter Billingsley, and John Delancey.
Oh wow, John Delancey.
Yeah.
John Delancey's great.
I've got to. Anyway, I don't know why what you were saying reminded me of that.
Yeah.
It was just because random bullshit about movies nobody cares about. But
I remember the movie poster for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all the virtual reality stuff. Like I said, it's about the level of quality of Lawnmower Man.
Okay.
That's the only reason I think it's similar. It has nothing to do with story or anything. But
okay.
Anyway.
Well, it's okay if your daughter is watching movies and recognizing, oh, look, it's Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
But if she starts saying, oh, look, it's the guy who played Flick from A Christmas Story,
that's when you might need to get worried.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's when you need to start maybe watching what keep an eye on what she's watching. That was
the entire Scott Schwartz library, this entire body of work. It was fairly anyway. It's a lot of discs. A lot of discs. I don't know if you know or not, but those actors are prolific.
Yeah. How many Scott Schwartz films did he reuse the "my tongue is stuck to this" gag?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, right. A Christmas Hoary. Boom.
Christmas Hoary.
Anyway, I was playing a little Murder by Numbers, which this game, as I said, it is a visual novel / a Picross game.
Yeah.
It is not developed by the same folks who do the many other Picross games on Switch, like the Picross S or any of those.
This is developed by Mediatonic, who worked with Adult Swim Games on many a title.
Oh yeah.
The Amateur Surgeon
Name
series.
1.
Amateur Surgeon.
Name 2.
Amateur Ninja.
Name 3. They do
the Captain Planet game.
What?
Yeah, we did a Captain Planet video game.
Adult Swim?
Yeah, on mobile.
How was that an Adult Swim game?
I don't know.
But this the character designer is worked on, what is it? Hatoful Boyfriend?
Hatoful Boyfriend, yes.
The pigeon dating game
also released.
Yes. And apparently the composer, I don't know, is also worked on like the Phoenix Wright and like Ghost Trick.
That's right.
Games. Yeah.
Wow, Ghost Trick. I remember that.
Remember
game.
Ghost Trick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a fun little game so far. I've only gotten a little bit into it. But the setup is you are you're a woman who is an actor on a detective show, and you at the beginning of the game you have just been fired from your job by the showrunner, who then very mysteriously shows up dead.
Dun 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 dun.
And now you are one of the primary suspects, and you have to solve the crime and clear your good name. And you team up with a little robot who kind of looks like just like a hovering TV set.
Scout.
Scout is the name of this robot. And Scout he's as I said, he's a little robot, but he's lost his memory. And he has come to you because he mistook you for an actual detective to help regain his memory. And this is kind of cute. The way you kind of help is as you're going around searching scenes for clues and stuff, Scout scouts the area. Get it?
I get it. Yeah.
And you as you help repair Scout's visual memory banks by solving Picross puzzles.
That's right. Yeah.
So
is
it's like,
is Scout voiced by Stephen Merchant or?
No.
That's
Okay.
Well, that would just be that would be Wheatley. That's a different character in a different video game. That has no Picross at all in it.
Toy Story 4.
Prequel to Toy Story 4.
That's great. But it's a cute little game. Yeah, it's in between puzzle the Picross puzzles, you're talking to different characters and doing a little kind of point and clicky stuff on crime scenes and things like that. So it's a fun little game. So
it's more Picross and
it's more
who
Picross.
Doesn't love that? So
exactly. Yeah. It's so weird playing Picross games that are not developed by Jupiter. Because they always, I don't know.
There's always one little thing weird about them that doesn't sit right.
And I don't know if it is that the non-Jupiter developed games are, I hesitate to say worse.
Yeah.
But, is it just like, oh, this isn't, developed quite as well as the Jupiter games? Or if it's just that I've played so many of the Jupiter games that anything that's not one of those just feels weird. So, but I mean, it's not, it's not to say it's bad, because it is absolutely in no way bad. It controls fine. It plays great. It's just not what I'm, it's just slightly off of what I'm used to when it comes to the controls.
Sure.
Which just makes it a little weird. But hey, who isn't in this crazy world? Am I right?
You're right. Yeah.
I bet I am. Yeah, that's really all I'm playing. I've been playing a bit of a game for work, a work game. But I
Corpse Killer remake.
Oh, man, I wish I worked for Digital Pictures.
No, you don't. Nobody.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
that's
then I
really
guess
about all I've been playing.
I guess that means it's time for tweets.
You bet it is. What's our first one?
CJ, if CJ was smart, he would have the soundboard ready to go, but he didn't. So.
Tweet.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias P.O. Rowe, who says the Turbografx Mini has been delayed due to the coronavirus.
Quit rubbing it in.
Is it now time for people to start taking this virus seriously? What's next? A delay to The Last of Us 2? Imagine the horror.
Are you kidding? They could at least tie that into the marketing.
Wow.
What? Wasn't that like Last of Us whole thing?
No, it was a bacteria. It wasn't a virus.
Wasn't a virus.
Geez,
different things.
Oh my
Phil.
goodness.
Whatever.
Things.
Whatever. I'm not a
I'd say you're going to get us kicked out of the Last of Us con, but that was already canceled. So,
oof.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think delays could certainly happen. You know, like a lot of workplaces are saying that people can work from home, and if
we all know nobody's working when they're at home.
But if you're like an animator at a video game studio, do you have your workstation at home? Like, do you have everything that you need to be able to work from home in that sense? I don't know. So, I mean, I think we certainly could see delays for games. Of course, there are probably delays happening that we don't even know, like things that haven't been announced yet. But yeah, I mean, I think as the weeks go on, like, and as things in China don't seem to have exactly rebounded yet, you could start seeing the new hardware platforms in the fall get delayed.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I think that'll be the big impact on the game industry, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Wilbur Monkey, who says, suppose for some reason you were isolated for 14 days with access to just one video game. I know. Is there some 100+ hour game you've always wanted to play but never had the time to invest?
With just one game.
Yeah.
So CG would have Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Because,
I'd go through those 100 hours in like a couple days.
Yeah, but it's a great chance to catch up on some like 100-hour RPG that I won't ever otherwise play.
Yeah, but never had time to invest. So CJ, let's take Sea of Thieves off the table.
Okay.
What are you playing? What are you playing for that?
We're describing CJ's life here. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
I'd probably pick up Control or Horizon Zero Dawn.
Good. Yeah. Yep. Good. Two good answers.
Probably do those.
You know what? Probably I'd pick one of the Yakuza games and just dedicate myself to getting straight through one of those, just because those things are so jam-packed full of content. Which that reminds me, I got to get back into Judgment, because
I was trying to remember the name of that game.
Good name. Judgment. Yeah. Well, it's got one of the most generic names out there. Yeah.
Judgment.
Judge Eyes was the Japanese title, which doesn't make much sense, but at least it's memorable.
Not well.
Judgment. I mean, come on. Most people can't spell judgment, much less remember what it.
Is there an E there?
There isn't. Well, I mean, there is. But not where you think it is. Yeah.
There's an E there, but not where you think.
It's at the beginning of the word. It's a prequel.
It's a silent E.
Yeah.
I would probably say like Dragon Quest 11 will be right.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
There you go.
For sure.
But I'd probably be, taking care of my kids. So
yeah, like questions like this. There's
important.
Another one too about being quarantined in your house. What game do you want to sync?
I mean, not having to worry about that. You're describing just like a dream. I would love it. It'd be like the old days.
Well, it'd be like the old days, if you weren't with the rest of your family and have to take care of the kids at that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Zero Kaiser, who says, so Microsoft revealed the specs the Xbox Series X, but they didn't talk about the RAM, which was one of the biggest differences between the PS4 and Xbox One. Are they waiting for Sony to decide on that? Also, what's the difference between smart delivery and cross-buy? So, I mean, the difference between smart delivery and cross-buy, obviously, is that it's the same code base that they're pulling from. Like with Vita and PS3, PS4, like it wasn't the same code base. Like they weren't downloading the same executable or like a similar asset pull or anything like that. So
you know way more about this than I do.
That's the difference. But to the consumer, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay, RAM. Talking about RAM.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
random access memory. I knew that.
Are we to the point where people really need to care about that kind of thing? I don't know. I've never been that type of person that's like
CJ is just totally glossing over this question. You notice that?
Yep.
It's like, well, I don't care about it.
Well,
I don't know why you
okay,
would.
fine. Okay, fine, Mister. I care about RAM all day, all night.
I'm just desperately trying to figure out how to work in some sort of Masters of the Universe Ram Man joke here, and I'm really having a hard time of it.
I don't know. How much RAM do they have?
Exactly. You
Probably
don't know,
7
you
or
don't
8.
care.
7 or 8 RAMs.
You don't know. You don't care.
So I was afraid to change the RAM of my computer.
Really?
Yeah, I was afraid of giving it a static shock and destroying it.
Oh, man.
This guy thinks he's Electro over here.
That'd be cool.
Shooting lightning from his fingertips.
Are we done with this question?
I don't know.
I was done with it when you first started asking it.
All right, fine.
Jeez.
Let's do this one from hacker alias Mathman1024, who says, while working in the video game magazine industry, what was the worst assignment you ever received?
Having to work with Greg.
Being assigned next to CJ's desk.
We all hate each other. None of us are friends.
Phil, you never worked with me. What are you talking about?
I was in the same office as you.
Well,
it was bad
so
enough.
were a lot of people. But I
I
mean, I was
know,
on EGM.
jeez.
We were the flagship, Phil. We didn't
We
mingle
were
with Game Now.
No, absolutely. Oh, trust me. I know.
I know.
Yeah, we all know. We all knew then, too. Don't think you're so big.
Wow.
When
Remember
I got
where you got
assigned
your
EGM, I
start?
had all these new friends.
Remember when Remember, you started on Expert Gamer. You
Yeah, I wasn't
started
there
down
for-
in
I
the
wasn't there very long.
dregs. Yeah, listen to this. Jeez Louise.
I think you were in my old... No, Ethan was in my old desk.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in Jim Mazurik's old desk.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
I forget who was in Todd Zuniga's. Anyway, what was the question?
Worst
assignment.
I would say probably Vagrant Story when I was on Expert Gamer.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't have nearly enough time to do a good job on that
Oh, yeah.
strategy guide. It's a terrible strategy guide. I haven't looked at it in years, but I knew when I wrote it that it was awful. I didn't really. I never got good at the battle system in that game, and that game has a pretty interesting, deep battle system, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It was difficult, especially if you didn't get it. And like we were doing basically game facts with imagery,
Right.
but on a monthly magazine cycle. So you didn't have a whole hell of a lot of time for anything. And
Right.
that was the game where I slept under my desk for like a week. I
Ugh.
just never left the office for like 7 days. Which, looking back on it, I
Healthy.
really don't know why I did that, because I live so close by.
Yeah,
it
you
didn't make
didn't
any
live
sense.
far.
No, I know. I don't know why. But yeah, I didn't like the final product. I enjoyed the game,
Mhm.
but I wish I had gotten to play the game at my own pace.
Right.
But you couldn't with that deadline. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the worst. I mean, definitely was assigned some pretty crappy reviews, but at EGM, but I mean, those were kind of fun sometimes too. So, it's
Sure.
kind of fun to play a really crap game like Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire and just have some fun with the review.
When I think about the worst assignments that I've had, the one that most immediately comes to mind, it was the early days when I was at EGM.
Same. Yeah.
And because this was when they were still doing like 200, 300 page issues,
gigantic digests.
So they were desperate to fill pages with just anything. They just we have the ad count, so we have to fill X number of pages, and it doesn't matter what.
Right.
If it's stuff that anyone wants to read, we just need to fill pages. And that ends up with me writing a 4-page preview for Batman Forever
right
on PS1.
That sounds
soul-crushing. Terrible game. Yeah. And somehow you got to squeeze out 4 pages on it. So you're playing through that whole game and you're writing up hundreds of words about it. And because it's a preview, you can't even be critical about it. You have to be the hot new movie becomes the hot new game, and come up with clever sidebars to show off.
Yeah.
What? This licensed crap.
You have to pick something in the game to highlight, and you're like, I don't want to pick anything. Oh, none of this is good.
This game lets you play as Batman or Robin.
And to be clear, like that was how EGM was probably up until just prior to issue 100.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like where previews could not be critical.
Exactly.
And things did start to turn around.
We were still pretty careful about that even when I was there, though. I mean, we were allowed to be critical, but you couldn't really crap all over anything either.
No, you couldn't crap all over anything.
We just didn't cover the stuff that didn't look all that good.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And Phil, you were talking about Batman Forever. Mine was like the Dragonheart video game. Like I forget if I had to write 2 pages or 4, because the thing about working at EGM back then, and especially those large holiday issues, like you'd have games that came out on multiple platforms that then they would do 2-page spreads on each version. So you ended up like I had to do Mortal Kombat Trilogy on like the N64 and the PlayStation. Like,
didn't one of you do a cover story for Independence Day?
That was me.
Yeah, that was Phil.
Yeah. That was me. And
but how much do you say about Mortal Kombat Trilogy on each? Like, how do you make both of those spreads interesting?
Yeah, 2 completely separate spreads for the exact same game.
Right. Yeah.
This one's on a cartridge.
Yeah.
And then one of my worst experiences with writing previews was I had to do one on Amok.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah,
for the Saturn, and it's a difficult game. But this was also the weekend where I had my girlfriend from Iowa visiting me.
Sure, she was.
And
she wasn't from Canada, CJ.
Yeah, right. And so I wanted to like spend the weekend with her, and also I had to play Amok and do a 2-page preview. And also this game was really hard, and I was terrible at it, and it didn't go well.
They got me playing Amok when all I want to do is hang out with my girlfriend.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah,
there it is.
So yeah, reviewing Amok was not pleasant in the slightest. Yeah.
That Independence Day cover story was pretty awful to do too, because if I remember correctly,
because it was a terrible game.
Well, obviously it was a terrible game, but I believe the preview build that they sent us was just the first stage.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh God, really?
And the first stage was you're like in the desert. So every screenshot I took was just, here's brown surface with this, horrible looking mothership hovering over the top of it.
Yeah.
Just looked awful. But Ed Samurai got a lot of tchotchkes and probably some really nice dinners.
Well, we got VHS copies of Independence Day, if you remember that.
Copies.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
hats. Right. They brought hats into the office.
Yep.
Mouse pads.
Yep. Ed had a whole lot of Independence Day merchandise to hand out.
Yeah.
That magazine was poorly run in the old days.
At the time.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
from like 1990, late 94 through like early 96, just not a great time.
Nope. Nope.
But yeah, it got better.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd have to work hard to make it get worse than when Ed was running the thing.
Oh, yeah. And that's unfortunate.
Oof.
Like when I was just reading EGM,
Yeah.
I don't know how you felt about this, Phil, but like I like a new copy of EGM came out and I read that thing cover to cover.
Oh, of course
and,
you
like,
did.
Read Ed's reviews and was like, oh my God, like everything.
Oh, I totally loved Ed's reviews when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He was the one that I identified with.
Well, that means you identified with Andy Barron.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Because Andy, you find out working there, like Andy Barron actually wrote Ed Semrad's reviews.
Yeah.
You're like, holy crap. Like, why? Also, why? Like, who cares? Like, if Ed wasn't going to write his reviews, why not just have Andy do it? Like, why not just own up to it that it's not Ed doing it? Like, what is the point?
Yeah.
There? But I never actually saw Ed play a video game.
No, I got to say that when we were in the early 90s, when it was the 16-bit systems were big, that was when I read EGM cover to cover.
Yeah.
When the PlayStation and Saturn came out, I dropped EGM completely.
Oh, yeah.
I had not read an issue in 5 years when I got
hired.
Oh,
wow.
Well, and there was a time where they were covering PC games too.
Oh,
yeah.
And that
got cringy after a while.
That was really hard to read.
Yeah.
And it was around the time where they did the disembodied head thing.
Yeah, that was like
the roly-poly fish heads.
The Joe Funk era, right?
No, it was before the Joe Funk.
Was that before the
era.
Joe Funk era?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when Joe Funk, who was editor-in-chief of Cinescape, initially, when he became like editorial director, he made a lot of really good changes on EGM. Number one of which was removing Ed Semrad from and then hiring John Davison, and then like getting Crispin, Sean Smith, like the review crew that a lot of people remember, like getting that in place, and shifting the editorial tone. I think came a lot from him. He was not a video game, Joe Funk, not a video game player really himself.
Right.
He appreciated video games, but he was not a gamer, really.
Really? Joe Funk, not a gamer? The guy who wanted to get Pikachu on the cover?
Meow, 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 meow.
Or the review, there was originally the Meow Mix song in text, which
was it
thankfully was changed.
So the review was just going to be meow, meow.
Yeah, no, that was the copy. It made it as far as an editor.
It did, yes, but John Riccardi changed it. I think they removed.
I don't think it was John Riccardi. He wasn't there at that point.
Did it say something like to be read to the tune of the Meow Mix theme?
No.
So it was just the word meow
over and over again,
several dozen times, and you're supposed to know that this is supposed to be the Meow Mix theme and not just the word meow being repeated over and over again.
Right.
Yes.
Didn't make it to final.
It was high concept
magazine that way. But that was the time where also like the industry was getting to the point where we couldn't do like 4-person reviews on everything, and it was a transition time. For everything. Anyway, I think that's where we'll end it for this week.
Man.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
Okay.
Like that?
CJ making a command decision.
That's right.
If that's what you feel.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward, which one of those actually appeared on our website.
Oh, you're right. It did.
That's right. Rise of the Dragon.
Rise of the Dragon.
Rise of the Dragon, the classic game that everyone.
The Dragon. Sierra. Is that the Sierra game?
Yeah, it was a Dynamics game, but Sierra.
Oh, that's right. Dynamics. Yes.
Yes. You will find Generation 16 episodes.
Still working away on the big one.
Okay.
It's going to be a while.
And you'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode And in those show notes, you'll find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode. You can discuss video games. You can discuss TV shows, or
we talk
things
about all
even
that stuff.
buying or the coronavirus. Anything you want, really, in our Discord
Good
server.
Times, according to CJ.
No,
the best times.
What you said, those were your
sarcastic,
words.
Good
sarcasm
times. I'm just taking this moment to touch my face.
Oh
man,
don't do that.
The government tells me I can't, but you know what I say? Damn the man. I'm gonna touch my face all I want. What do you think about that?
Well, you put that on our
you should go
Discord
wash
server
your face
and
and your hands.
go discuss that with us and our other listeners.
You know what you can do?
What?
Sit and spin. Well, I really got CJ to laugh. I really didn't think it would.
Good job.
Yeah.
Did you ever have one of those old sit and spin toys?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about, Greg?
No, not at all.
Really?
No.
Look.
I'm not going to look up sit and spin on Google.
Turn
safe search.
Turn safe search on. And then look up.
See what comes up.
Look up sit and spin. I'm gonna type it in right now.
Oh God.
There it is.
Oh no, I've seen those. The Kenner sit and spin toys.
Yeah.
70s, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have one of
Well,
those.
they still make, or they made them. Charlotte had one.
Yeah, you're right. They do still make them. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here. There's an Amazon link. How much does a sit and spin go for these days? $35.99.
Sit and spin toy has all the twirling fun you grew up with.
Sweet
and your
cup
child
and
will
cakes.
love to whirl, twirl, and spin on it.
I'm looking at Amazon.com.
Yeah.
They have, you can buy a sit and spin Amazon exclusive. What is
That's weird.
Can you only buy sit and spins on Amazon these days? Or is this like some sort of,
I don't know.
I don't know, but so it's $35.99 in frustration-free packaging.
Yeah.
Or it's $79.99 in standard packaging.
Frustration-free packaging.
Well, if you're a collector, you're going to be buying the.
Yeah, you want that $80 one to get the original packaging.
One. Yeah. Have you never ordered anything in frustration-free packaging?
Well, I have. I actually have.
This is a thing.
This is a thing. Yeah.
It's basically just like Amazon packages it in just like a
regular
generic
box,
just a generic brown box.
Well, yeah, that's like 5 sizes too big for whatever they're shipping. That's like the Amazon way, isn't it?
Well, no. This is not the shipping box. This is just like the. Well, I guess they probably do ship it in those, don't they?
Oh, okay.
It's just
so that it's not like all taped up or like
you don't have all like
ties that they have
ties and crap.
Things.
Yeah, it's
the plastic
theoretically better for the environment if you care about that garbage. But usually it's not like half the price.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're not charging you $40 extra for the regular package. Whatever the case is, I'm glad to see.
But you definitely don't want to buy toys from Amazon a lot of the time. I don't know if you've run into this. My daughter watches a lot of toy YouTube sometimes. And
I don't let my kids watch that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Just turns them into even worse consumers.
I know. But my daughter found some video series where they're talking about this robotic cat thing by Spin Master that they did previous to Hatchimals, so prior to that whole craze.
Okay.
But it was like 3-4 years ago, and she's like, I want one. And of course, like you look on Amazon and they're going for like $800 because it's a toy collector market.
Yeah.
Like,
you got the scalpers.
The scalpers, it's not people like it's not available anymore. So yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, we can't get this robot cat. Like you're just gonna. I'm sorry, it's not a thing anymore. It's not available.
Yeah.
This YouTube video is from 3 years ago when they were actually around and plentiful.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyway, where were you, Phil?
Where wasn't I, man? If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening application. You'll find us there. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. We're on Spotify. You can watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. You can Follow our Twitter account at P1 Podcast. That's the numeral 1 to find out when we're recording our next live show. It's usually around this time.
Well, it's usually about 2 hours before this time.
It's usually about 2 hours before this time.
Well, with daylight savings.
Usually.
What?
I mean,
Okay.
we did not. Daylight savings did not occur while we were recording this show.
Yeah,
CJ.
I don't think.
You're right.
It's usually at 5:30 Pacific time, friends, on Sundays.
5:30 specific
That's
time.
Specific
If I'm
time.
being
Yeah.
specific about the time,
Right.
it's usually at 5:30. So there's that. And if you like what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ needs money to buy a robot cat.
Mhm.
And every little bit helps, friends.
That's
His
right,
daughter
yeah.
is very, very sad.
Yes.
So
yes,
please.
yes.
Please give till it hurts, friends. Not only will you be making a young girl very happy with her robot cat, but you will also be keeping our little show afloat.
That's true.
Keep it coming at you live every week. And if you are a Patreon supporter at the $5 tier,
Cheap.
there it is. We're getting it. We're getting it, man.
Yep. We're gonna have
doing
this
this.
down by episode 800. Look out.
Boy, get ready.
Yeah.
If you're one of those $5 Patreon supporters, you get access to a special extra bonus show every week where we play games, we crack wise, we have fun, we do the hokey pokey, we turn ourselves around. You're going to see what it's all about. Just $5, friendos. We love it. We love you. We appreciate all you do for us. So join us, won't you? What do we got? We got a game for this week, CJ?
We sure
what
do.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Got a game.
Jeopardy game. Yeah.
We got a Jeopardy game. You can
Yeah.
watch us. You can watch us make buffoons of ourselves.
That's a definite.
That is guaranteed. Every
Mhm.
week, one of us at least is going to make an idiot of themselves. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Sirrett's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series breaking down the intense lore in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. What's on that mushroom world, Greg? He's got ideas, and he's ready to share them with you.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about Generation 16, the fantastic web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Also cheap.
It is also cheap. So please go do that, everyone. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, okay then. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. And of course, thank you to our wonderful, fabulous listeners out there. We love each and every single one of you. Please take care of yourselves during these hostile
wash your
times.
hands.
Wash your
hands.
damn
Jesus,
hands.
just wash your hands, please.
Just
Goodness gracious. You know, wait, you don't need all that hand sanitizer. That's bunk. That's hokum. Okay.
I don't know about that.
It's
But-
hokum of the highest
Just
degree.
do
out.
both. Do both.
Buy yourself a nice Barra dial. Get yourself a big box
No
of the
Irish
Irish
Spring?
Spring.
There you go.
No zest.
Whittle.
It's zestfully clean here.
Zest.
You're not fully clean unless you zestfully clean. Whittle off
Yeah.
some of that Irish Spring. Oh man,
Oh,
do you remember those old
Yeah,
commercials?
you
for
gotta
Irish
whittle it
Spring?
off. Yeah, that's
And
how
you
you knew it
whittle
was.
off.
you
Green
have
all
to
the way
whittle it
through.
off.
I never wanted to eat soap, but seeing
More
that
than
guy
each-
whittle off
Whittle
that
that off.
thin little
Yeah.
slice of Irish Spring, I just wanted to pop that right
Put
into
that
my
on a
mouth.
sandwich.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd probably be good on some toast. Get a little oil and vinegar on there.
little Irish Spring Sammy.
Little basil on there.
Basil.
Give it a little.
Put it on the grill.
spice.
Let it set up a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Get some
Look
Sprinkle
at
it with a little lever 2000.
a little provolone on there. Get a little drips.
Lever 2000.
Oh man, makes me want to plug it in.
All right, Glade.
Glade Pitchman.
Ladies and gentlemen, Glade Pitchman.
Hey there, folks. I'm Glade Pitchman here. How's your home smell? Pretty rank, I bet. But Glade plugins will make it smell tip-top.
All right,
See y'all next week. Yeah, we could probably go for another.
We probably could.
Probably get another 5 minutes out of soap commercials.
All right, bye, everybody.
See you next week.
Bye.
You jerks.